Yesterday, I went to a party in a club and I was waiting to go to the toilet. There was 4 toilet doors and I was waiting and suddenly I decided I don't want to wait anymore. So I said in my head, the door is gonna open right now, and it immediately opened. I have goosebumps telling this. And they also say that goosebumps are truth bumps. So notice the moments where you are having them, because you are stepping into a high frequency and something that is very true is being activated in a moment. So later I lost my phone, but I immediately decided that I'm on the timeline where my phone is with me. But in the beginning I was looking for it, so I went again to the toilet to check if I left it in the toilet cubicle where I was. So again I was waiting, standing in front of the 4 doors that are closed, and I said again, this door is gonna open right now. It didn't. I relaxed, and 2 seconds later it opened, and exactly that door, out of all the 4 doors, the door that I wanted to open, of course the one that I went to. So how can you apply this principle to have whatever you want in your life right now? And it doesn't matter if it comes right now or later, because as soon as you make the decision, you are on the timeline where you have that thing. And that timeline is now, because all that exists is now. The past is an illusion. The future is an illusion. We do perceive time as linear in this human experience, but you have to understand that in actuality, everything exists right now. All you will ever have is right now. And right now, in this moment, you have the power to consciously decide what it is that you want to experience. And no matter what happens to you, you can consciously decide what that means and how you want it to play out. So if something that is like bothering you or something you perceive as negative is happening, you can then decide, this is happening for me. This is happening for a positive reason. This is happening because it is bringing me to my goal. Because as soon as you make the decision, for example, I am on the timeline where I make 20,000 euros a month. And from this moment that you decided, it is done. And then from that moment, every single thing that happens is bringing you to that goal. So some things, they can come immediately in that second, as that example that I told you in the beginning. And some things, they take time, because when we come into this human experience, we do decide to perceive time in a linear way. But as I said, everything exists in the here and now. And this is what we call the quantum field. And in the quantum field, all opportunities, all different versions of you, all the possibilities, and all timelines exist, and you decide which one you want to go on, which version of you you want to embody, and which timeline you want to play out. Because you are the creator. And you can look this up. This is quantum physics. There are these atoms moving, and only when we look at them, so when our consciousness decides what we are perceiving, they take a certain position. So for example, this cup, it only exists when I look at it, when I consciously perceive it. So in every second, you can decide what you want to perceive. And this is the power of you. You have to realize your power. And this video gives you the permission. This is the activation for you. From this moment, you can consciously create your life. And you don't have to, you know, but you're doing this anyways. It doesn't matter if you're consciously or unconsciously deciding, because every single second you are deciding something. For example, you could watch this video and decide, oh, I don't know if this works. So you're gonna be on the timeline where you don't consciously manifest or create your experience because you decided, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, then that is your reality. But you can also use this as your activation and write down every single thing you want. And you can write this in statements. For example, right now, I'm on this timeline where I make 20,000 euros a month. Right now, I'm on the timeline where I am in complete health and the highest, like fullest energy. And it doesn't matter what it is that you want. And it's so funny because it is exactly the same. If you want a cup of coffee or if you want $1 billion, there is no difference. The only difference that could exist is the difference that you make it in your head. Do you understand? Everything outside of you create, and everything around you give it meaning. So you can give a cup of coffee the meaning that it is easier to get than $1 billion. But in actuality, it is exactly the same. You can just decide and it's yours. In that moment, it is yours. And then it will come. And this is also so empowering because it doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what you do. You made the decision and it is yours. I'm getting goosebumps. The truth bumps. This is the difference between all the manifestation coaches, and they are all valid. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever method you want. You can meditate. You can make a ritual. You can write things down. In the end, these are all just permission slips that give you, all these methods give you permission to then make the decision that you allow this experience in your reality. But you can also just simply make the decision and you are on that timeline, and that is it. That is all that you need. This is the power you have. Do you realize? You can have anything you want right now. It is yours. It is done, man. You are the creator. You are the goddess and the god of your universe. And everything outside of you is just a reflection of you. The only thing that changes is you. And then the outer reality adapts. But it's all in here. This is what quantum physics says. Everything exists as a possibility in the quantum field, and only when the consciousness looks at it, it manifests in this physical reality. So your consciousness decides every single second. So if you want to understand more of this concept of all these parallel realities that exist at the same time and how time is an illusion, you can go watch this video. Then you can also go and read this book. It is, I think, 72 pages and it explains all of how reality works. But you can also subscribe to my channel because I will be talking way more about these concepts, and I will make you step into your highest frequency, your absolute freedom, absolute abundance, the highest health, and the highest possible love in yourself and in your outer reality that you can possibly experience, because this is your birthright. And right now, in this moment, this is your activation. If you take it or not, that's up to you, but you will decide unconsciously or consciously your reality anyways. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. I can serve as your activator for all these things, to step into your highest frequency and to realize your power, because this is what you deserve. You can have anything you want. As soon as you have a desire, that is God, because you are a fragment of God. God created you to create this life with free will. And as soon as you want to have something, that is God wanting to experience that through you, because you are God. So in that moment, you as you have a desire, you can consciously decide that right now, this is your reality, and then it is done. So realize, you make the decision, it is done. Exactly. As soon as you make the decision, it is done. That's it. And from that moment on, no matter what happens, you can decide that everything happens in your favor. Everything happens for you to get to your desire because you're on that timeline. So if you want one-on-one coaching, right now I'm offering it donation-based. That will probably change in the future. Link is in the description, and I will also create a Skool community. As soon as that is online, the link will also be here in the description. I cannot wait to go on this journey with you in my life. I cannot wait. I'm so fucking excited. You do not understand, because I had already a lot of moments where I realized my power. I can tell you another example. This is also a logical explanation of why these things work. I was in Thailand. I went to a market in the night to drink a coconut. It was very late, and all the market stalls, they're like these movable stalls, they all started packing and leaving, and then it started raining. So I wanted to go home, and suddenly I realized my key is gone. So I started looking for it everywhere, in all my bags, my bike, where I was sitting to drink the coconut. Then the last option, I went to the toilet where I've been before. And I remember on the way to the toilet, I was in such a high frequency. I was like, yo, like literally, I remember standing in the rain and I was like, you are testing me right now, universe. You think that you, with something so small, you can lower my frequency? I was like, no way. So as I was walking to the toilet, I knew this is my last option, and I was like, I'm gonna get this key, 100%. I knew it. I looked in the toilet, it was not there. So I went back to the market, and then I realized, oh, maybe it was, I left it accidentally at the store where I bought the coconut, but that store was already gone. So then I asked there was like 2 more left, and I asked these people if they saw a key, and they were like, yes, back there. And then I went in this dark alley, like this dark corner, there was still the stall where I bought my coconut, and he had my key. And you know, this is the logical explanation of how this works. I decided to be on the timeline where I will find my key. Like in the whole time that I was searching for it, I knew that I will have my key. So even though I looked in every single place and it was nowhere to be found, my brain continued looking for solutions on how to find this key. So if I would have just given up and been like, okay, I can't find it, it's nowhere, then I would have just taken a taxi home and like went back to the market the next day to pick up the key and the bike. But no, I was like, I'm gonna find this key. So my brain was looking for ways to find it, and then in the end, it did. So this is just your brain. You can like basically program or code your brain in whichever way you want. So as soon as you make a decision on which timeline you are, it then will automatically create the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions that you need, because then you are on the timeline, you know? You understand? You are programming yourself. You are coding yourself. This is just how it works. It's so fucking simple, and it's so fucking empowering when you realize this. And yeah, if you need more guidance, as I told you, I'm here. I offer one-on-one coaching. I will get you into your highest frequency, your absolute freedom, your authentic expression, because that's the way I live my life. And I know that you can do too. You deserve to live in the highest joy and to live a life that you really feel like, wow, this, like, you have moments where you're gonna pinch yourself and you're gonna feel like, this is my life. Like, I have moments in my life where I'm screaming out of joy. And this is what you deserve too. This is your birthright. The highest joy possible, and abundance in all areas of life. So with that, I will leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.